Okay, so I haven't done a video in a while, and we've actually have another sword review. We've kind of had this one for 2-3 years now. It's from Swords of Northshire, and it's nice. It's nicely done. Swords of Northshire does a good job, especially it's got a dragon carved along the saya, so that's kind of a cool little feature. The lacquer job's not bad on it neither. It's got a couple ripples down at the end here, like right down in here. Can't really see it, but it's nicely done, especially the carving. And this is actually my wife's sword. Of course, this is the Ida wrap for the Seigyo, which is not a big deal. The fittings on it, we got a dragon right here, is the same type of fittings my wife had put on the custom one that she had Swords of Northshire do. So this is a dragon. And then on the Suba, it's a dragon theme. Okay. Real Samegawa. Real ray skin. The tension on it isn't too bad. I mean, it holds. I'm not going to sit here and like really shake it. Got just a little bit of a rattle. Now the handle, I don't know. They did a good job, but it just, I don't know. It feels sometimes kind of weird in the hands when you're holding it, especially up here. Don't know why. I mean, it's kind of, I think they widened it and then flattened it, but made the sides right here kind of too pointed like that, you could say. And it's kind of, like I said, strange in the hands. It's not uncomfortable, but it's just kind of weird in the hands. So this, I ordered this for her. This is an Iaito, not an Iaido. That's with the D. Iaito with the T. So the thing with Iaitos is they are not sharp. They're blunt. They're dull swords. Okay. And let's get to the blade first, before we get more into that. So this is a 1060 through hardened blade, and yes, it has, see if the camera pick it up, it has a dragon engraved on the blade, which is really nice. And then on the back side, I had in kanji her name put in it. So, feels good in the hands. Has a little front heaviness weight to it, but it's not bad. And like I said, this is a 1060 through hardened blade. Now, the thing with the Iaitos, you have to be careful because a lot of them have this right here. This little point. That little point's still going to hurt you. Okay, like I said, blunt blade. Okay. Now I did a review on this one. This is my Iaito from Hanbon. It's also a 1060 through hardened blade, so I could sharpen it if I wanted to. But if you look, they took the time to round that tip off. So there's no sharp tip, which is kind of nice. I could take my hand all day on this thing, and it will not cut me. This thing, one, I need to clean it again, is really nice to handle, and blunt. That's why I wanted it. Okay. Now people say, oh, I practice with live edge all the time. You could do that. That's up to you. But if you're a beginner, or if you're learning a new move, using a blunt sword is actually the best thing to use. That's like someone trying to clean a gun that's still loaded. It's not a good idea. And yes, I've known people who've done that, and it didn't turn out too well for them. They took a trip to the ER. So, my personal opinion, my recommendation is, if you're going to practice any form of Iaido, especially if you're new, even if you're experienced with swords, you should practice with a dull blade. Okay, especially if, like I said, it's a new move you're learning, you're not comfortable with it. You shouldn't use one. Like I said, the Iaido, right? I ordered this dull. Okay, it's got an edge on it. Not all the way through it. It's got a slight edge down here, but this has got an edge. That isn't what we wanted. We wanted a dull edge. Okay. And just to prove to you, like I said, you saw me rub my hands on this. I mean, that's all it's going to do. And that's just the weight of it doing it. So that's kind of a mark against Swords of Northshire. Okay, and my wife isn't used to handling swords as much as I am. So I'm now probably going to have to maybe take this and take a file to it and blunt the hell out of this thing, or have her use one of my other Iaidos for practice. Very disappointed when we got this and it had an edge on it when we specifically ordered it without a sharp edge. So that's kind of a mark against them for that. I mean, obviously they weren't paying attention when the order was put in on this. Like I said, the handle, it's not uncomfortable, but it's just strange feeling in the hands. To me anyways. To her, it might feel comfortable. Now, price point on this. This is actually a decent sword. It really, really is. The Kasha, because she doesn't use it that much, is on there. Doesn't move. Everything's tight. When I ordered this, it was $130. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay. And like I said, it's only 1060. It's 1060 blade, through hardened. Okay, and 1060 is a good material. If you go to order this sword now from them, it's $199. I don't see why so much of a price change in this. It's exactly the same as when we ordered this. Same fittings, same engraving, even the Seigyo is the Ito wrap. $199 for it now. Now people say they feel they're affiliated. Hanbon is not affiliated with Swords of Northshire whatsoever. Hanbon is actually an independent company. They are not affiliated with anybody. That's why they can keep their prices so low, because they don't have to mass produce for like a drop shipper or whatever. You know, they're not partnered with anybody. That's why you can start custom orders at, was it $98? You can get a total 1060 blade custom done from Hanbon for like $98. And that's just, you go with everything that doesn't charge you extra. Okay, for 1060. Exact same fittings on Hanbon. Exact same saya. Because they all do these. They all do these. Same Ito wrap. Like I said, everything on it is identical. with a T10 blade, okay, for $130. My personal opinion would be, if you like this sword or this style and you want to get one, I would get it from Hanbon. One, paying $200 to me for a 1060 through hardened blade, it better be perfect, in my opinion. Okay, because you can get 1060 blades for almost under $100 now, and they're really good. I mean, the ear wrap's tight and everything. So I don't know about paying $200 for a 1060. There's no change to it, and it's through hardened. I can see if they're differentially hardening it, but it's not. It's through hardened blade. Where you can get a T10 blade, exact same sword, even the dragon's on it. It's got that dragon engraved on it, on the blade. T10 blade for $130. I would go with the T10 blade. Now it is through hardened. It's not differentially hardened. It's a through hardened blade. Like I said, it's exactly like this, except the blade material is a higher quality. So I would do that. I think because Swords of Northshire has gotten a lot of recognition, which is great. I have no problem with that. But I've noticed they've really gone up in price, even on their custom jobs. And unless you want like extra stuff that they don't have on their custom build, you gotta ask for their catalog, because I guess they have a catalog. I got one years ago, and they're nice stuff, don't get me wrong. But I think because they've gotten so much recognition that they've raised the price, and they've gotten into a lot of colored blades in anime, which is fine. I have nothing wrong with that. But for something like this, in my opinion, especially if you just want to practice, and not mess up blades that are higher quality, like 1095, T10, L6, paying $200 to me is a little high, you know, especially when you go to another sword builder and get the exact same one with a higher quality blade for less money. I don't know. That's my opinion on this. Now, the Suba on this, the Suba, the Fuchi, and the Kasha are all alloy. Now, I had I have a follower who asked if it would be neat if I could talk about the different materials used for Subas. And I am going to do that. Iron compared to alloy and all that. So I just got to get some notes and do a little bit more research before I do the video. That might be the next one coming out. But overall, this is a really good sword. I mean, overall, I have the little things out of it, and the details aren't bad. You know, they really aren't bad. People always go, oh, they're kind of muddy, this and that. I've talked about what happens when you have patterns and you got to use molds. I've done a video on that and how expensive it can be to repair those molds. It's not cheap. So they're going to use it until they can't use it no more. But like I said, this is not like, and this could have been a one-off with the handle. You know, it really could have been. So overall, it's a good sword, especially if you're just going to practice. Now, price point, I just can't justify it. Spending $200 for it when it used to be $130 2-3 years ago. I just can't see it. And nothing's changed on it. I can see maybe if they went with a higher quality blade. 1095 T10, differentially hardened, all that. I could see that. You know. And then second of all, I ordered it for her not sharp, and it came with an edge. That's kind of like a minus for me right there. That's a big minus, because if she had started using this and did a oopsie, we might have, without knowing, checking it first, we might have taken a trip to the ER. Okay, like I said, she's not as experienced with the blade. So it takes her a little bit to get comfortable with it. When you order, good thing I checked it when it came in. I felt the edge, and yeah. So it's been kind of like on a sword rack, just sitting there. Unlike this one. Like I said, this is a 1060 blade from Hanbon. I can rub my hands all up and down this thing and never get cut. I like the fact they rounded the tip off, so it's not sharp at all. You can still get hurt with these. I mean, it's a long piece of steel. Like I said, this is just 1060. $100 though for it. I can see paying $100 for this, and this has got a copper tsuba on it, so, which is actually pretty damn nice copper tsuba. But yeah, kind of disappointed in Swords of Northshire, because they do have really good high marks. I mean, the Edo wrap on this is super tight. I mean, you can just barely wiggle it. So overall, they did a great job making it. Like I said, except for kind of the handle up on the top, but I can forgive that. But I can't forgive that I specifically marked, like I said before, it not to be sharp, so my wife could use it for practice, and it came with an edge. I just can't forgive that. That's a major oops. A major oops, in my opinion. Okay, and like I said, I know some people are going to make comments. I practice the live edge. It's good because, you know, I don't make mistakes. Okay, first of all, if you think you need to practice with a live edge so you don't make mistakes, you're not respecting the blade that much. Because even if when I use this, if I make an oopsie, okay, in my move, especially when I learn new ones, I'm not taking a trip to the ER, and the first thing I think is, this is my hand. It is the only one I have. How stupid could I have been? Good thing my sword isn't sharp. Like I said, it's like cleaning a loaded gun. Why would you do it? So, but that's my opinion. You want to practice the live edge, you can. To be on the saver side, now people would say, oh, in ancient Japan they practice with live edges. That's actually false. Why else would they have bokutos in? Or a boken, a wooden sword. You gotta remember, these were expensive for them. Normally a lot of them only had one. So if this got messed up, now it just costs them even more money. They would use a boken. Now maybe by themselves, they would use a live edge. But they were really careful with it, because like I said, these costed them money too. And it wasn't cheap. So, that's my review on the 1060 Swords of Northshire Uchi Katana. Nice swords, beautiful to look at. My wife even loves it. She doesn't like the fact that, you know, it can do that when she wanted it for practice. You know, because she's not comfortable with a live edge. Which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. So we have to decide, we're either going to dull it or she's going to use one of my other ones. And if we don't dull it, then I'll just put a keener edge on it for her and she can use it for cutting practice. So we'll see. That's up to her. It's her sword. So that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll do the video on different metals for Subas. Hopefully. If not, it'll be out next week. And you guys have a good one. We're staying dry. We got another storm, so hopefully it's the last one of the year. Don't know yet. But we're having thunder showers and everything else this weekend. So figure I'd get this video out before the lightning starts striking again and the loud thunder like last night. See you guys later.